Hello everyone. Now I should be live. I'm gonna adjust the microphone a little bit. I think this should be a public live. Yes. I have kind of a sketch happening here also. I'm gonna try and see. Maybe today perfect consistency could be fun. I'm gonna lock my sketch. Put it on a lower opacity. Maybe duplicate it once and then just lock it so that I don't get rid of it while I am sketching. And hopefully somebody will find this. I also have a new experiment happening in this entire thing right now. I've never done this before, but who knows? I think I'm just gonna get the link and post this on Instagram so that people can find this in case somebody shows up. Okay, first one appeared. I have to check if the system is working. The system is working. I'm so happy. Oh my god. I'm so excited about this whole system. Just a big disclaimer, this entire system might crash or just melt down my PC. I don't know what's gonna happen. I've never done anything like this before, but I am super excited to try it out with you guys, and Rapid Civil already made it clear that this is working. And I don't mean live chat, but there's another experiment happening here. Well, I'll just adjust the screens a little bit so that I can see the chat and what's happening with you guys. Now we're doing this art challenge, which is based on values. So let's do some quick value sketches before we get going with anything more. I think I'm gonna do the dark mid-tone highlight collection of values and then go from there. I'm gonna do a really quick. Is this the window capture? No. This one. Just checking one quick thing. Yep. I'm gonna put the box behind the sketch. It's not really a box. Very bad box. And just do a few thumbnails. How are you guys doing? Oh, stream elements. What is running? I have no idea what that does. That's not the experiment that I was supposed to be doing today, but apparently I had that still on. I thought I needed for this stream, but apparently it doesn't work at all the way that I wanted it to do, so I am doing the chat monitoring system all locally on a different application that I have text running code in the background. Okay, so now I have 4 boxes, and sometimes when you're doing thumbnails you might want to do the whole set, like 16 or even 30 different thumbnails to really get an idea on what you're doing. But here I just wanna start small and kind of go deeper into what the paintings are, like right from the get-go, just so that I know what I'm doing. Or to figure out what I'm doing quicker, so that you don't have to wait. Okay. And I'm going to copy and paste this sketch that I have to all of these, because it's going to be around here maybe. Even that could change. That could be like one element that you can combine this thumbnailing idea with. And thumbnailing doesn't mean that you have to have several different iterations going before you figure out what you're doing. You can just find the ideal way to make your painting on the first sketch, and that can be it. So here we want to keep most of the black in, and then just add a tiny bit of light. If you're doing any of the other value challenges that we have going on in the art assignments section currently, then just stick to the colors that you, or values that you are trying to achieve. I am using the downloadable brushes that are available to members this month, the oil painting brushes set that includes all of these brushes. And I mean, these Angry Mikko oils. So these brushes are now downloadable to all channel members. And depending on your sketching type, these might not be your ideal way of sketching, because if you get too easily distracted by the different colors mixing paint together and creating all of these wild organic textures, you might want to do this thumbnailing section with a more opaque brush that just easily creates that one value that you want to add, and then just stick to that. Sometimes I've heard people refer to this 3-bucket rule with like percentages, but I think that can lead to people calculating that, like, do I really have 20% of this and 5% of X? It's not that precise. The whole point of this system is to make composition easier for you. So if you're using the 3-bucket rule to set out your composition by dividing your values into uneven amount of paint on your canvas. This one is going to be a dark scene, so most of the values are going to be dark. A little bit of them are going to be mid-tones, and then just a pinch are going to be the light sources in this scene. And with this, I will try to make this kind of like a mysterious look to the scene. How many colors left? Well, we did purple, green, no, we did purple, blue, and now we are in green. So, I don't know, check the pride flag. Is that 5 or 7 colors? It's, after green, I think we have yellow, And after yellow, we have either red or orange. Does the pride flag have an orange? I should know this. My rights will be revoked. They will come for my card. So I'm kind of doing all of the thumbnails at the same time. But when I'm looking at the composition, I am looking at the composition within each thumbnail, like not how they play with each other. So the purpose of this is not like filling a sketchbook page. The purpose is to do 4 different sketchbook pages at the same time. But you can do every individual thumbnail separately and then go from there. It's really up to you. Now, after looking at these, I am like strongly drawn to the top row first and this top right corner versions of these. I have to just pick one. I mean, I'm running out of battery and I don't have a cord. Red, yellow, orange. Okay. So the next one is going to be yellow. I think for the next one, maybe it's a good idea to go from dark to light. So I think that's good timing. But for this green one, I think the dark is going to be a challenge for me. I'm just going to go with this one, honestly. I like it. And I'm just gonna go with it. I'm selecting the thumbnail that I like. Copy and pasting it, and then just in uniform scaling mode, I'm scaling it up. You might say that like this is the wrong way to do anything because I am stretching pixels, which is true, I am stretching pixels, but all of this is gonna be painted over. It doesn't really matter that much, I think. I am gonna lock those thumbnails as well because I don't wanna lose them. And now I'm gonna unlock my bird sketch. Where is it? Like, do I even have it? No. That I don't need anymore. But this bird sketch I need. So let's just fill in some green colors. As you can see, this is not really a full palette in any sense of the word. I'm gonna add another darken layer to drop onto this one. But this time with very light color. Let's keep it desaturated at this point so that I don't paint myself into a corner. And and then just merge all of those. In the past few weeks, I've been pretty frustrated with the amount of time that some of my paintings have been taking. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit more loose and expressive with this one. Not just to get things actually done, but it just doesn't feel super, I don't know, inspiring or fun to be working on the same paintings forever all the time. And the video that I have been writing is all about speed, really. I don't know if this is a beginner type of an issue. But for me, speed is really not about productivity, it's about how much fun it is to create new things, especially when doing concept art pieces. Speed is really important, so I have a lot of practice in that. And often speed comes with this sort of like time pressure to get the ideas done so that the clients can see them. But sometimes speed is also important for me so that I can get to new ideas, and the same paintings don't end up just dominating the time that I have to spend with them. And if every painting takes forever to do, then less paintings get done. I think that's a vicious loop. I need to be careful of the green so that I don't go too green. I mean, I need to be careful with the blues so that it doesn't turn into a blue painting. I just love switching colors into cool tones far off in the distance, but maybe I can paint in one of those hazy green yellowish glows. Hey Tanya, yes, good weekend to you too as well. Today is Vivi's birthday. So she's getting a lot of playtime out there. Tanya is saying, I'm feeling a sense of accomplishment as I made 25 album cover art pieces for my partner. That's a lot. My last one was Pride Disco Superman, and I am looking forward to the new Soups film. I will give some extra treats on your behalf once I stop this stream. Oh, damn it. That was supposed to be a separate layer. At least I got it early. So the creature is just basically oval shapes that I stacked on each other. And the entire body and the three-dimensionality is just going to come from the overlap of those things. And I usually try to design from the core shapes outwards. So I start with the big shapes, and a lot of the personality comes from these big shapes. So when I get into the details, the only thing that I'm worried about with the details is that like I shouldn't override whatever ideas that I deemed that were good with the shape design. I think the mess is really overpowering everything that I'm doing, so I'm gonna add a few gradients. You can never go wrong with gradients. They just build up that kind of hue variety into the image very easily as well, so that I don't accidentally end up with a very flat color. That's always something that I'm trying actively to avoid. I think the chaotic jungle shapes can also be very fun for me as a painting challenge, to find different brushstroke rhythms in all of that. So the core idea with my thumbnail was that these sort of like harsh rim lights will kind of like in a dramatic way reveal the bird from the silhouette. So because that was my main idea in the thumbnail sketch, I want to get that idea down as quickly as possible, because the more information that you have on your piece, all of that information is just going to inform the rest of the ideas as well. I'm glad to see that the simulation is still running and it hasn't crushed the system yet. So this is working. This is good. I think the big star is in the attack mode currently. One of the big inspirations for this piece was shoebill stork that I saw in a Japanese zoo, and they are the most terrifying birds that I know. I'm gonna put this microphone a little bit lower because I feel like I'm talking to the side of it all the time. Let me know if the music and the sound is okay. I can adjust them on the fly. I just don't hear what I'm doing the same way that you guys are hearing on the other side of all of this. I'm gonna check my thumbnail really quickly to see what was the cool idea about this. Yeah, I still have like plenty of darkness in here, so I am thinking that like maybe there should be some kind of like a hidden part of the ruins visible here. It's not really highlighted or the main point of this piece, but just something fun that you can discover. Then you kind of like pay closer attention. I know that the brush is kind of smearing and doing all of those kind of interesting marks, but I am letting it. I could just switch to a cleaner brush if I wanted, but I want this look to be even in the smallest details, so that it's all consistent with the same look. And if you really run into problems with the paint smearing like this, you can just keep painting in the same spot, and once you have enough color, it will override the smears. It's kind of like very thick paint, but unlike real oil paint, you can keep painting on the exact same spot forever, and eventually you will have enough color in that one spot that it will just be the only color that is visible. I love this kind of like beachy lounge music. It makes me feel like I'm on vacation when I'm painting. There has been a storm here during last night. Not really here, but mostly on the west coast. It sounds way more exciting than it is. Remember, this is Finland. Here, a storm means that like few trees fly about, and that's about it. But it has been very cold, which isn't that much fun. Hello, Mind Drain. Mind X Drain X. Mind X Drain X. Okay, I'm gonna stop trying. Hey, Mind, you've been using my brush. Have you been using any of these brushes that the members can download now in the membership? This one is the perfect consistency one. So for some people, the oil painting process are a little bit too chaotic. So that's why I created perfect consistency, so that you can also paint more precisely if you want. But as you can see, you can do like messy, chaotic, even with this brush as well. But it's easier to control. This is much easier. If you're new to painting in general, I probably would not recommend starting with something like oily grit, this brush, because it requires you to just like constantly pay attention to the bigger picture. And that can be a harder skill to learn. Not yet. I've been using the polar bear ice cream one, having fun with it. Yep, that's also good. That's a fast brush too, so... when you want to do a painting that has like a high level of control, but still want to keep it loose, then I think that's a good brush to go for. Any brush really can be the perfect brush when you just use it the right way. It's about finding one that makes painting feel fun for you. And that's really something that I can't give advice on. You just have to try different things, but don't try different things endlessly. When one brush really clicks in a way that like I can paint in a way that I can predict the end results when I'm doing a brush stroke. Even if you're not happy with your paintings, like just knowing that like at least I have control over my brush strokes, then I recommend sticking with those. You don't need to keep switching all the time. Just using the same brush can lead to better results because you end up developing that muscle memory for how the controls work, and then you really learn to take advantage of all of the smallest details and controls of the brush. But when you're constantly switching, there's no way you will be able to learn all the ins and outs of how a brush works, because they're all different. So you're always starting that learning process from zero, and that can lead to lack of progress because you're always learning the most basic thing. It's like, how does this brush work? How does this brush work? But then when it comes to your painting, you haven't spent any time or energy on that. So that can lead to a very negative feedback loop that can actually make painting less fun. rather than something that you want to keep doing. Hey, Setruna, what is happening? How have I been to 3 streams? I don't know, but this is the only one that I have a live simulation happening for the first time, and it's really cool, and I've been working on it for a few days, and I'm super happy that it still hasn't crashed, at least visibly. But I can see that there's a special feature that also works, because what you did just confirmed that that feature works. I'm absolutely not a coder, so I cannot emphasize enough how amazing it is that it works at all. It's truly a miracle. But I'm just gonna be happy that it does for now. I need more coffee. Right now, it looks like the big star is eating the little stars. If you're asking what it does, that's what it is doing currently. I have so many ideas on how I could develop it further, but I realized that I'm supposed to be a YouTuber and make YouTube videos, so I had to quit today and finish the script that I've been working on, because it's like basically consuming all of my life. Also, the main textures and the glow texture that I have on it, that's an After Effects animation, which is just literally a few seconds of animation that I rendered out as PNG files, and they are being played in order. It's like a gallery of low resolution small images. So it's basically playing that After Effects animation in the glow and in the star texture itself. I know this isn't super sexy for anybody to hear, but I am kind of afraid of big birds. When I'm running and I see like barnacle geese which flock around here at a certain time of the year, like in massive mobs, I would rather just like choose another route and then try to run past them, especially when they have baby chicks. They get super aggressive. But it's not sensible to be afraid of them. I am. But I think birds are pretty, just the same way that I love painting mountains, and I'm also afraid of heights. Basically, art is that adventurous life that some version of me would like to be living, but literally can't. The number 3 next to your name has nothing to do with me. I don't know absolutely why that is happening. I accidentally installed some kind of a stream elements thing as I was trying to get this thing to work. This thing has nothing to do with stream elements. It's just, I guess I didn't sign off from there as I was trying to figure out how to get this to work. But stream elements is in no way connected to the simulation. I don't know if anybody like cares about this specific type of art style at all that I am. I think the head shape could use a little bit of work. Yes. I'm just gonna select both of these. I'm gonna flatten the entire head. Doesn't that look a lot better? I mean, you saw the previous version, so it probably looks like I just punched the entire bird really hard. But sometimes you just need to punch a bird when the art isn't working. Tendai Speed is saying, click the OXP button at the top of the chat. It seems to be related to super chats. But I know that like Stream Elements was trying to push some kind of like a super chat system, but like I didn't go through any of that process. It doesn't have any of my information, so whatever Stream Elements is trying to do in this chat, I assure you that part will not be working, because I only wanted to do chat reader type of thing that apparently is in some ways easier through elements like Stream Elements. But then after doing more research, I figured that if there is like this string of code that I copy pasted in Python, that is a chat reader that just reads the chat automatically, because the stuff that I need for this to work is not in any way complicated. So that's enough. Well, looks like top fans or something. I saw this on another live in the other day. Maybe it's the new YouTube thing. My guess would have been for the numbers, and obviously this is wrong, but I thought that the numbers are just assigned to whoever showed up first on this chat, and then go from there. But maybe it's not, because I see that like some people have commented in the chat and they don't have any numbers with their name. So no offense to anybody who doesn't have a number, but the people who have a number, you are special. I look even shorter than I am normally because the camera is tilted upwards so much. Jesus Christ. Okay, do I look tall now? No. I also don't want to be like hunching down to fit the camera frame for the entire duration of the painting, because that will not be good for my 40-year-old back. This bird looks like Vivi when she's getting head pats. Vivi always looks like she's not sure if she likes it, but I guess it's human interaction in some way. She's not one of those dogs that like constantly jumps on your lap to get more petting. She will choose her time for human interaction when she pleases, and then everybody will just need to cater to her needs at that exact moment right away. I think it's starting to look a little bit more like... Is it shoehorn? Shoebill? Stork? Shoehorn bill. Bird type of a creature. Senda is saying, I got 25 XP for commenting, so it seems to be counting how many times you post in this chat. Seems to be sitting at 75 XP. Like, where do you guys check these numbers? This actually sounds like a feature that I like to have in this chat now. I mean, I'm not paying anything for stream elements for this thing to be on. And I haven't opened the website either, so... I mean, like, currently in this session. So hopefully it's not taking too many resources from my PC. Wow, that looks so cool. I copied everything on this layer and then I did a curves adjustment, and this is just a way to kind of like quickly wash over shadow on my pretty little bird. Meanwhile, my dogs are all up in my lap saying, "Excuse me, why no pets? More pets, please." I also feel that way whenever I'm with the Ridgebacks, because they demand attention. Especially the big one always comes and sits on my lap like it's the tiniest dog. I call him the smallest dog always. I clicked on the help icon and it's a YouTube super chats thing. So okay, so maybe this has nothing to do with stream elements at all, so it would have happened anyway. What's a good starter job for an artistic career? Well, I was a concept artist for 10 years, which is a pretty good starting position, because then you get to paint all day, every day, for years and years. You get better when you put in that much practice, but I realized that this is not an option accessible to everyone. Also, nowadays, I don't even know if like getting concept art position should be everybody's like end goal these days, because I think Microsoft just fired like close to 10,000 people just literally today, and just few years ago they bought new game companies for tens of billions. So if anybody, you would have guessed that those people have job security, but they didn't. I think one way to look at an art career is also that it doesn't have to be your main job. And maybe you can start it as a side hustle alongside your normal job. And if at some point it makes you enough money, then maybe you can go full-time with that. But also it can be fun to have just like a interesting thing to work on rather than just have your life be your day job and pretty much that's it. Like you could start selling commissions when people start asking for them, but before that you could make and post art online until people do start asking for your art to buy for themselves. Then you know that you are making something that people want. But before that, well, you probably don't get that much like professional critique in your daily life, no matter what. So just knowing that there's not like a market demand for the type of art you're making, I think that can be a good signal that like just focus on getting better, and if you really want to make a job out of it for yourself, then be consistent when you learn new things. So don't skip the elements that you are learning, like don't go from learning one element to next all the time. Like for example, if you're trying to learn composition, learn the composition checklist or whatever method you are using like completely through before moving on to something else. And even when I was working as a full-time concept artist, I think I would have given the same advice back then when the job market was like way more secure. But even still, back then, I went through tons of these cooperation negotiations where people get laid off. And every time I felt like, okay, is this gonna be the round when they finally let me loose because I'm not valuable enough or something, and you're just constantly stressing about that. And that was way before all of this like collapsing situation happened. If you're doing freelance illustrations, one way that you can also work your way into kind of more permanent place of employment is to pitch your new designs to, for example, some kind of packaging, like food packaging, beverage packaging, and try to create a working relationship with some bigger company that has more money. And then when they are relying on you to produce work or that is slowly becoming part of their brand identity, then you can just suggest that like it would be just cheaper for you if I was working with you all the time and you wouldn't have to pay all of these taxes when you're paying for my work. You could just have all of it all the time. It almost looks like my bird has cute yellow little puffy pants on. Like this sort of like old-timey undergarment shorts. Setsuna is saying, someone bought my book at the author event, left me a review on Amazon and liked it. I'm so excited. That's really cool. I think Amazon reviews can really make or break a deal. I think the crowd is getting a little bit too dense right now, so the big star might activate soon. Because when you're looking at an item and there are 0 reviews on it, it might be the best book ever, but like, how would you ever know? Just based on a very short description. I think it's super cool that people leave reviews. And don't be afraid to ask for them. I mean, I'm sure that you know friends and family who can buy the book. Just like explain to them that this is a really important part of marketing. I want to know when the red stream is. Feels weird for me not to be in the chat for red. I will make sure that there's a proper announcement way in advance for that. I don't know if Setsuna you use Instagram, but I often post them there. But today I just started. Fun fact, Amazon will flag you if you have too many reviews with people whose names are the same as yours. They think family is biased. Okay. Well, we're definitely not related. Maybe I should buy your book. I hope there's like plenty of smut in it. My review would be something like, made me clutch my pearls. Was not Christian enough. Rapid Sivel is asking what you're... I guess you're asking what's a good way to study color theory. First of all, I have a very big video on color theory that has a blue character on it, and in the thumbnail it says start here. Like, that's the first video that you should watch on color theory. And the second video you should start on color theory is the one that has free palette downloads in it. But rather than focusing on the palette downloads, focus on the video and do that exercise. And those palettes can help you do that. In fact, if you go on my Gumroad and look for the color palette collection, that's completely free. You can just download it there. And it will have a link to that exact YouTube video that I am talking about. And all of those palettes are compatible with that. And the palettes also have that same logic explained in the downloads. So I included as much like explainer material in that package as possible, but when I'm uploading free Gumroad products, there's a limit on how much space I can use. So I can't put in, for example, a video in there. I can only put a link to a YouTube video if I do a free product. But that set includes tons and tons of palettes. And they are perfect for that single color exercise that is better explained in that video. And the way that you need to leave out these sort of like gaps in the color, even with a limited color palette, to get the most out of it. I think this could also have a brighter area somewhere, even though it's far off in the distance. What do you think about AI art? Well, it's not art when you steal shit. So it's garbage. I see sometimes people identify as like AI artists, and I think that's pretty offensive. Learning art is not that hard, honestly. I mean, what else do you do with your time? They say that oil paintings are the most difficult medium to learn. Not saying that I have somehow like mastered them, but the art school where we learned oil paints, that was 3 years. That doesn't seem like that big of a time investment to learn such a valuable skill that I have been using for years and years after it. I think life is all about kind of getting clear on different priorities you have in your life. Like, what really matters to you? If you look at your time use, it can seem like you're always trying to do something and always trying to get somewhere. But when you really take stock, evaluate your time use in the most literal possible way, it can be pretty easy to see that your time is like a budget that you're spending on things that have different value to you. And if you compare that value to how important it is to, for example, be able to paint your ideas and being able to create artwork, or if you're working towards an art career, even like turning that into your own job, compare that to how much time you allow yourself to use on social media or here on YouTube or watching whatever streaming service you are subscribed to. It's so easy to kind of numb yourself out of the opportunities that you have in life. And once you start going, the beginning of this painting was so damn messy that already it's starting to look like this could be something. This could be a painting. At some point, like clearly, we're not there yet, obviously, but we're closer than in the beginning of this live stream. Sometimes we don't get like ideal like starting positions. I would love all of these live streams to have a very clear set date and time when it happens, when I can do them. But sometimes life just gets in the way and I can do them when I can. And today, for example, I just thought that like, if I start immediately, I could do a painting. I really need to paint, like just for my mental health, because I feel like I'm going crazy with the script that I'm writing. It's so difficult at this moment. And this makes me feel more at ease because I identify as an artist. It's my most important identity. And when I am not creating art, I don't feel like myself. And that doesn't feel right. And I need to fix that. So whatever you're trying to do, whatever career you're trying to do, I think it's very important to stop thinking of yourself as an aspiring something, but if you want to become a writer, start thinking of yourself as a writer. Writer first, all other aspects about you later. Doesn't mean that you have to be the best thing ever at it. It's just a part of your identity is doing the action that will get you to the end result that you are aiming for. That's all. So the big star chat and the little stars are attention from Mikko. That's a good guess. Not far off. I promised myself that I'm not gonna give any clues on what's happening here. I know what's happening, but I just thought that it's an interesting social experiment to see how long it takes for people to catch on. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm like a massive oversharer at all times, so it's taking all of my patience not to spill the secret. That's why people use AI art, because it's fast and looks good. Does it look good though? Well, I'm not gonna argue on opinions, so. I wanna figure out how to make the star move around more. Interesting idea. Interesting idea. I can also consider these as like ways to change it in the future. So, thanks for giving me that idea. I might steal it and use it if I can make it work. Also, remember, I am not a coder. All of this is like scraps and pieces from tutorials shown together with hopes and prayers. So saying, oh no, I lost my number 3 spot. How did that happen? No idea. Mikko, do you have a favorite work of art you've made? Yes. I would love to say that ever since that day, the horses have been happier is one of my favorite pieces of art. Also, it's probably one of the more meaningful ones that I have made. I should probably check the name of that artwork on Instagram if I wanna. Because I don't remember the name of that piece. But it's here if you scroll down really far into the distance. Okay, this is happening really slowly, so I'm gonna continue painting while it scrolls. Did you know that you can like rearrange Instagram tiles now? I think that's super cool. When the entire rainbow is done, I wanna arrange them on the Instagram grid into a rainbow. That also means that I don't have to do them in order, which is like super fun for me. Because big projects are super stressful when you just always have this feeling that I need to make this and that painting, and then you don't feel like you wanna do it because you have to. It's hard to explain, but kind of like when doing art is fun and then you try to be a freelancer and then you realize that you hate clients. Oh my god, I accidentally scrolled into Reels. This is where it should be. I'm close. I'm sorry that this took so long, but my favorite piece is the pond where all the best fish hide. The pond where all the best fish hide. I'm gonna try to show this on, I don't know if the camera can catch this on, but this is in my house when I come home and it makes me smile every time. And I think it's a really good painting. But this is one of those things that where it's like a painter's painting that I realize that there are like some things that are more spectacle art and impressive to most people. But that piece to me has later kind of like surprised me in like how advanced the composition is on a technical level. But what is more important than anything is that it makes me smile, and it makes me smile every time that I see it. So how can that not be my favorite painting? Compared to everything else, it has given me by far the most amount of like just pure happiness. I mean, how do you compete with that? So when you have a painting that you like, print it out. I hope that's the lesson that you are taking from this. If you have works that you have made otherwise, if you have painted stuff, put them on the wall. Like for example, like there on that wall, I have the oil painting that I painted this year. Everything that I have on my walls, I have made myself. I really like the mood of this piece, even though it's so loose. I have to leave soon anyway, but I was hoping to take the first. Is the secret hidden in a Trails game? So, what I wanted to say about animations like these that are happening here, that I love designing animations that are kind of pretty and visually compelling, but don't necessarily like require attention. Basically, like a digital wallpaper. Like that is my second passion that I have discovered ever since I started creating YouTube videos. That I love to create visuals that repeat and organically change over time, so that they can be in the background and be interesting. Like, for example, I imagine that I could do a full screen version of this simulation that could work almost like a Pomodoro timer, that it would just be this sort of like relaxing, pretty sparkly thing that I have in the background at all times. And even better if I can attach some kind of like interactivity and meaning to it. I think that's super cool. Like, for example, all of these visuals, that there's this sort of like blurred version of the After Effects star thing that is as a background for this simulation that is happening here. This simulation is happening on a black screen, so it's transferred in OBS in screen blend mode, so that all of the stars are just in additive screen blend mode. I believe that these sort of animations are going to be more popular in the future as more and more spaces are being filled with screens. And all of those screens can't require the same level of attention as like a video advertisement or something. Sometimes it can be just to boost the brand identity of a place, or there are so many different functions that you can do with it. Just show the direction where you need to be walking, or direct people's attention to an upper floor. Make a closed indoor space feel more spacious and alive. All of those things. It's the music, it's not the music. But also, not a bad idea. Sendai, that's a good clue. That's the only clue I'm gonna give. Maybe there could be different like changes depending on what cycle is happening as these sort of like screen vibes happen. And then maybe there could be some kind of a bigger goal, and maybe like even a reward. Maybe I could do some kind of like a giveaway when that goal is reached. Need to choose my words carefully here. It's not tagging. Just the ability to do even something like this simple, I think it has just sparked so much like inspiration in me that like I keep having like endless ways to like do new things now that I can do this. Like just the ability to like have these things moving at all. I mean, please. You probably have better ideas than I could even imagine. But just like a simple thing of having the elements move and not having it tied to a video file that has beginning and an end and a disappointing loop at the end of it. Like, for example, one of my favorite things is doing these sort of parallax scrolling animations where the scenery is going by. So I could make a collection of different textures of a landscape, and then that landscape could be kind of like scrolling by slowly during a live stream or in a video, I don't know. And it could just have endless amount of combinations. And it could travel between the library of different elements that I put in there. And with this drawing system that I now know how it works, I could put in like different probabilities or even activation mechanisms for them to happen. So there could be something that goes by in the scenery that could be super rare. I don't know if anybody has seen this. This was like ages ago, back when I started doing YouTube, but I did this train ride animation where there's this like painting chill music that I like to use when I'm painting. So it's basically a video playlist of that music playing, and it's shot like a train ride of scenery going by. And it is about an hour long, I think. It took forever to render. I rendered on my iPad. And I also made it on my iPad. Back then I didn't even know how to use Premiere. So anyway, my point is that in that 1 hour video, there is one point where one of my carrots, the IKEA carrots, can be seen between the trees. And nobody has seen it. Like, nobody has commented it. Like, it's there, but it's there. I love doing stuff like that, that is just kind of hidden. You would think that this is just like a very boring, simple animation that is looping, but every part and combination is actually unique. And I still sometimes put that video on when I'm painting. I don't know if I have talked about this a lot, but I sometimes have like very big difficulties like concentrating on a single task before I get the painting process started. When a painting is happening, then it's really easy for me to concentrate on just painting and nothing else for a like extended amount of time. But to get started, I really like applications that can cover the entire computer screen, so I don't have million possibilities and distractions out there. If I'm watching or listening to a YouTube video, I would rather like listen to a live stream or a podcast or listen to somebody else painting while I am painting to feel like we are kind of in a workshop when I'm doing that. I don't like the short art videos because of that, because then I would need to be navigating YouTube all the time, and that takes away from the flow state, which is really important for painting. At least the way that I paint, as I'm like painting the entire scene at once, I need to be basically focusing on everything at all times, and that can be difficult if you have concentration difficulties. So anyway, so that's why I sometimes put on these like music playlist videos. I listen to a lot of like lo-fi radios and synthwave when I'm painting, and those often have like nice visualizations when they are happening. Like nice but not distracting. That's, I think, the core feature that I'm looking for here. But when it's just like one image raising up or sliding down, I think it can be a little bit more than that, and that's what I like doing. Or whenever I'm waiting for like a game announcement live stream or something, I'm just obsessed with countdown timers. Countdown timers are one of the most fascinating and fun things to do visual design on. Companies should just hire me for that. I mean, I would just go crazy with it. And when you have a really good timer, like for example, I think PlayStation's State of Play was really bland this year, but their timer was amazing. The countdown timer before it started. As a customer experience, I think it also matters. You could just get more excited when people have clearly put an effort into something like that.
This is the end of side 1 of this record. Please now, turn it over for the second side. This is the second side.
Sendai is saying, I love synthwave too. Rabbit is saying, I love this style so much. I wonder why Setsuna lost the number. Also, it's my stream. Shouldn't I know what the numbers mean? YouTube, thank you for the heads up. I'm gonna click on one of the numbers now. I can see it says top fans here. Yeah, I can see the XPs as well. Setsuna was trailing like just tied to Electrotone when she lost her number. So apparently only the top 3 ones get a number, which is interesting. This probably matters a lot more in those channels that have thousands of people joining the live streams, and then when you can kind of like order comments based on like top fans or something, that you can filter out some of the like the shouty spam. But I love shouty spam. No need to filter out any of it here. God, my sister is calling me. I feel bad for not answering. Bad vibes. I like my sister a lot. She's not even like, she's literally one of my best friends. She's the one person who I don't feel bad about for talking on the phone with her for hours. Could the number thing have some kind of like a timer that like resets it, like based on recent activity? I don't know. I have 7 sisters and none of them call me. Wow. It's really too hard to work with these sort of like super dark contrast colors. on dark, but I need to stick to that thumbnail that I made in the beginning of that stream and remember what my visual hook for the entire painting is. It's harsh light hitting the unexpected bird shape on top, and here I just need to focus really hard on being as boring as possible. Don't want to create visual interest, I just want to create jungle-like noise, where the main purpose here is to just tell the viewer that the painting is over. Please return back to the right area where more of that painting stuff that you came here for can be seen. In real life, being boring is very easy. In paintings, being boring is very difficult. But it's much easier when you remind yourself that, like, am I being boring in the right areas? Just ask yourself that. I feel like a lot of art techniques can be condensed into just like a bunch of questions that you need to go through when you're painting. But I've noticed that that's a really bad retention killer whenever I mention these sort of questions in my paintings. What people want, what they come to YouTube for, is answers. They don't want to hear that the right way to do something is a question, because that seems like active work, and that seems like work that you need to repeat with every single painting. Every painting has its own answers for what can be considered boring in that context. I had a phase on YouTube where I really hated Tropical House, but I think now it sounds really nice. Especially paired with this terrible windy cold weather that we've had here for the past few days. If I don't get to live my warm summer vacation vibes, at least let me pretend in music form. That's the next best thing. The face will probably change, I don't know. I will try to come up with something more intelligent for it. It was just when I noticed that I can't answer my sister's call. Looks like the big star is doing its thing again. Rabbit got number 1 and is proud of it. For probably good reason. I don't know who awarded Rabbit number 1, what they did to deserve it, but I'm sure. Rabbit is number 1 for a reason. Reason that YouTube knows. And it's gonna stay that way. Yep. I think this is a perfect painting theme for YouTube live stream, because I don't think this is gonna be like a thumbnail spectacle art piece. It's perfect and like chill and low contrasty and kind of bleak. So people who come for like 5-minute tips on painting, they wouldn't like this painting anyway, probably. Like it's not for the TikTok generation. No offense, but like a little bit of offense. I'm gonna put the moss on top of the bird so I can let some of these mossy strands peek out. I just like the idea that the bird is grabbing onto something soft and fluffy. And maybe the viewer can feel that kind of texture between their fingers. I hope. Maybe it's not exactly shoehorn bill, but maybe we can just name this bird Bill after the great shoehorn bills. It's a bill of some kind. Ashley is saying, I didn't see any notification. Green is my favorite, and I'm on vacation where I can't watch all of it. I leave it up for, let's say, 2 days. I mean, I think it's kind of my fault for not doing the announcement. Let's do 2 days for once. And maybe I can have enough views that it will pay for quarter of a lunch. My video recorder just died because I ran out of space on my hard drive and I don't have any more to load on, so I can't make a video out of this. This is just between you and me now. I think that's kind of the magic of these live streams often. I can't connect the Apple Pencil in any way. What is happening? Yikes. Would it be running out of battery? If I have to stop here, I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing. I have to do something to make sure that this pencil is working, because currently it's absolutely not. I'm gonna turn off this for a second. This one. Okay, because I need to go into the settings and see what is happening over here. I can't see it connecting at all. Now I see it. And it's working. Thank God. Sorry. Is this? Oh, damn it. Where did I put? Now it's working. Sorry. I don't know what's happened, but now the Apple Pencil connected back in. Could it be a battery thing? Shouldn't it show how much battery it has when there is enough battery? It's just disconnected. That's worrying. Okay. Let's slap in some elements to where elements are needed. I'm gonna do this in curves. I think cool light is easiest to do with curves. Still using the same brush. Still pretty consistently green, I would say, even though I have added blue. But I think the overall look is kind of reads as green, don't you think? Just faking a little bit of perspective with these vines, as I don't have space for kind of like human-like elements in here at all. And I think they could be an interesting element when light shines through and kind of enters that seaweed looking vine foliage and exits the other way, kind of like showing the color within, almost giving this an underwater look. Hello Munchi Chi makes. I think it would be cool if YouTube added this numbering system, some kind of like interactive tools for my side, so that there could be like some way to like acknowledge and interact with the different numbers that people now have in the chat. Like if I could, for example, like give away like a month of membership to a person that has certain numbers, I think that would be really cool. And I don't think that would cost them anything. In general, I think it would be really cool if there was like a way to gift membership from the creator side. I watched Complete Guide to Color video and I'm blown away. Thank you. That's one of the videos that I recommend people watch. Somebody was asking about how to learn color theory earlier, and that's the video I mean. Also, welcome to here. This is a lot more slow-paced if you have seen some of my videos here on YouTube. But live streams are a way to just paint, and I recommend that if you're a person that is listening to me right now, that you take this opportunity to take out your iPad or pen and paper or your paints and work on your own thing at the same time. I mean, I could paint in a complete state of panic, trying to be entertaining at the same time, and I would get nothing done and the paintings would be just crap. But I think it's important to just do the work, and I hope that some of you feel like this is an opportunity to do the same. I love those gradients. It's like so tasty looking greens. Oh, organ music. I love organ music. Every time when we have Night of the Arts in Helsinki, I always end my gallery walk to this church that has an organ marathon happening every year, and it's the best thing ever. Like, it's the most skilled organ players in Finland that come to play in this one church, and there's no set list that they need to play. They can play just whatever they like. So it's really beautiful organ music, and it's not all like religious stuff. And then there are these nuns or something that sell cheap pancakes outside the church. So that's always my basically like a ritual on how to end the Night of the Arts. In the middle of the night, I'm listening to organ music and eating cheap pancakes. It's the best thing ever. And I might not be like selling it, just how good it is. But I like doing those things. And I don't even need company on Night of the Arts. Sometimes it's just kind of like nice to take yourself to interesting things and experience them just by yourself. It's a way to tell yourself that I'm also worthy of this type of attention, that I'm a cool person to hang out with. And by me, I mean like I'm a cool person to hang out with myself, by myself. I don't need other people to be going to gallery exhibitions and seeing and experiencing new things. the music really low? Do you feel that way? You had me at pancakes. Yes. That's the way my mind works as well. Like basically it's just mention carbs and I'm there. Sold. I'm gonna quickly read the comment in the chat while I have more caffeine. Sendai is saying, do you have ideas for every color or are you just winging it? Like I was literally just winging the wing right now. Like the stream name implies, like this is the green stream and I am doing the green stripe of the pride flag currently. So that was pretty much all of the planning that I did. I did kind of like start doing a palette, but it's not really something that I have been using for this at all. I can make a palette for the members to download from this point of the painting. I think it's the best part because I haven't done any color edits yet, so this part would be really good material for making a new palette because it's following a very strict rule set for how the colors are blended and mixed for light and shadow. So this would turn into a really good palette. I just had to remember that when I start doing edits, in fact, I might just do it right now in case I forget. So I'm gonna copy the canvas and paste the canvas and just set it underneath everything so that later I will use that version to make a palette out of what I have here. And for everybody else, you can just screenshot this right now and do a palette on your own. But when the painting is done and the colors are edited and tweaked and used with curves, then it's useless as a palette material. Then the colors are already overblown in saturation, darkness and lightness, and like it's not suitable for painting. Artful Butterfly is saying, I've only been painting in Procreate for 2 months now and I love it. I used to paint in Krita, so it's huge change for me. Is it? Like, all art applications are the same. Like, if you learn one, you have learned them all. I learned a lot watching you use Procreate. Okay, so if you have seen my videos, like here's here's the trick that sometimes takes a little while for people to learn, that when you learn how to use Procreate, you need to learn how to like do art. Learning Procreate is super easy. It takes literally a few hours. And then learning art, that's the hard part that is gonna take the rest of your life. So a big hook for a lot of my painting tutorials is how you, this is how you do X, and it's packaged somehow like this is how you do Y in Procreate. But it's really highlighting some kind of like a core element of composition and painting that I am showing the process of how it's done in Procreate, but I always make sure that like the core idea is that like this is important for all painting, and that it's kind of wrapped around this frame that like I want each video to also teach these sort of like core principles and how to make art in the first place, without kind of like pushing that idea, because like nobody's looking for art fundamentals on YouTube. So when I do a tutorial and I put that information kind of like in there with the other stuff that people are looking for, then this is why I like art teaching. I really do make these videos to help people, and that's the core reason. Otherwise every video could just be like 30 seconds long. Here is how you do Gaussian blurs in Procreate. Done. That's not that useful, but when you learn how to control edges within a composition and how to use the edges to give rhythm to your composition, maybe that could be a good theme to sneak into a blurring tutorial. Somebody left me this like really aggressive comment about like one video being too long for the subject, and it was about color theory and how to direct attention within a painting. And that video was like 12 minutes long. It's like, how much of an in a hurry are you? Like, you really can't spend 12 minutes to learn how to use focal point colors? Like, this is not the channel for you. Just to put that time like a little bit more into context, I am currently doing these art lessons for concept artists, and all of those art lessons are like nearly 2 hours long lectures with very little interactive exercises for them to do at the same time. Most of it is just art theory or how to paint and design environments for games, and nobody there has been like, oh my god, why does this have to be so long? There's a lot of information to cover. Sendai is saying, I'm working on a painting with overall blues and green, a torii gate to a spirit world. I'm not confident in coloring though. That's amazing. I was just thinking about making this, like that exact thing. I was thinking of doing a torii gate in the forest, because like that could be a way for me to contrast green with the complementary color red. And I just couldn't get the bird looking big enough on the torii gate or in front of the torii gate, but like I had that idea. That's funny. I just feel like my idea tried to come to me, and it was just like, okay, Mikko is too busy, let's go and bother Sendai with this, because you are the right artist to do this then. That's amazing. I have done a torii gate before, but it definitely wasn't a doorway to another world like the one that I was sketching before. Great minds think alike, exactly. Anyway, I'm glad that you are doing that. I feel less guilty for giving up on it now. It's in good hands. It wasn't really the torii gate or the scale that was a deal breaker for me, but I was trying to sketch this sort of like on the ground trail and looking up at stone stairs, and I thought that like I'm not gonna be doing stairs in the most difficult possible perspective on a live stream. Like that doesn't sound like relaxing or fun to me, and I cannot do an entire painting that quickly today in the mood that I am in currently. So that's why I scrapped the idea. Okay, I think we're kind of very far along. Like, I think we're pretty much done. I'm getting already into details, but the visual impact, it's there already. So I'm just moving around paint. And I don't want to do a live stream where I'm just tweaking things. So I think my music stopped. This was was the playlist for the croissant live stream that I did on the membership. Remember, that was such a fun day. Like, I got to buy a croissant for art reasons and eat it too and paint it during the live stream. Okay, now I'm just doing nonsense. I'm gonna really quit it right here. Maybe one more light effect. Sorry. And I'm gonna disable the line art because that's still on. Okay. So this is where we started. Which is like pretty vague. Ravizel says saying, I downloaded your oil brush set and I haven't ever used paints before traditionally. I watched your video where you see things in volumes and I'm so jealous. I don't interpret the world that way. Well, I'm jealous for all the people doing like fancy and detailed and clean looking line art. I will never be that person, but I'm fine with that now. I can do this and somebody else is not doing this. So let's do our stuff that is assigned to us. This bird low-key would be so chill to just sit next to and talk to, just vibing with the bird. I feel like Bill would be really friendly kind of a bird, but one that would be hard to get to know, because I think he looks like he appreciates the me time by himself. So I don't know, but I would like to get to know Bill better. He is a little bit scary, like all birds. Kind of reminds me of Legend of Zelda. Yes, I think those blue birds in the Skyward Sword, they are inspired by those shoebill storks as well, aren't they? At least they have that beak shape that I'm trying to get here. Hey Mikko, watching you paint is always a pleasure. I have a print-related question. What in your opinion is best material to print your digital art on? That depends. Like for example here I have like massive over meter by meter sized print of my weather box painting, and that is painted on an acoustic panel, and because of those like pastel colors it looks really cool on that kind of like soft material. But when it comes to prints that I would put into a gallery, I think the ones that are printed on this sort of like glass-like material, the ones that are incredibly heavy that I have on my walls, I think those are the best ones. And if I would sell my paintings in a gallery exhibition. That is how I have done it, and that is how I would do it. If I want to have my own art like this be right here on the wall, I have gotten things printed on a very thick matte paper. I don't like glossy papers because then if there's a overhead lamp, I don't see the art, and then what's the point? So if you want color vibrancy in those sort of situations, I recommend looking at those plexiglass options where there's like a heavy glass and the print is directly printed in a mirror image underneath it. So you need to provide a mirror image to the print surface, but you don't get that kind of deep color in any other way. It's like putting 1,000 layers of glaze on top of a painting and then looking at the colors that way. Shoe bills are terrifying to me because of the way they move. Yes, so I want to do a quick story here. Like when I was in this Japanese zoo where we can walk around, and we went into the shoe bill room there with my boyfriend, and we didn't see the shoe bill at all. There were all these other animals in that area, and then suddenly on our path from the bushes a shoe bill jumped and it started like clacking its beak. It has a very distinct weird clacking sound. It's this gray, death-looking, massive, almost as tall as me bird standing in front of us and opening its wings, and like I almost shat myself. It was so scary. But I think they are also somehow cute in their own monstrous way. Thank you everybody for joining this live stream. Thank you for trying to guess how this works. You didn't get it this time, but I'm gonna keep this simulation running. I'm really happy with the way that it looks, and I think it's super cool. And I'm happy with this painting as well. Thanks. I will leave this on for 2 days, and then I will take the ads off, and then it will go into the membership library. Members can also download this brush and all other oil brushes that I have now in the membership downloads. I'll see the rest of you in the next video.